Hey FitFam, I hope you guys are having a blessed day. So today I'm going to give you my two favorite high protein breakfast recipes. The reason that they're my favorite is because you can modify them. You can add ingredients that you like to make them your own and make them enjoyable. And these two recipes, you can use these all the time and just add different ingredients to make it a different breakfast. It's extremely easy and I incorporate these all the time in my meal planning. You know, I like to start off my day with a high protein breakfast. That way I'm not playing catch up by the end of the day. I can easily get 30 to 40 grams of protein in with both of these options, and they taste great, very easy to make, and it's not going to take you a ton of time. So let's jump into these recipes for today. So for my first recipe, I'm going to do the savory. I'm going to start with a frittata. Frittatas are one of my favorite breakfast recipes because it's very versatile. Usually I put 3 different kinds of vegetables in my frittata. For this one, I'm just going to dice up some white button mushrooms, but feel free to substitute with portobello. Next, I'm going to chop up a red bell pepper. If you don't like red bell peppers, you can choose to use a green bell pepper. You can do orange, you can do yellow, you can even do tomatoes if you just want to stay away from peppers altogether. I chose the red bell pepper because I had that already in my refrigerator. Again, we want to make this easy and delicious. You don't need to go out and buy additional ingredients if you already have vegetables on hand. Now I'm going to cut up a white onion. I do not need this whole onion. I'm just going to use half of this onion. So I want to make sure that the size of the onion pieces are roughly the same size as the red pepper because I want them to cook at the same speed. I'm not too worried about the mushrooms because the mushrooms cook pretty quickly, and you'll be able to see that once I get this on the stove and start to saute it. Next, I'm going to cut up some boneless chicken breasts. Now, I made these chicken breasts ahead of time. I had a big giant pack of chicken breasts, and I just wanted to use something that was easy and already on hand. When using these chicken breasts, this means that you don't have to use some kind of breakfast meat. You can just go ahead and use the meat that you already prepared, which makes this very simple. Again, easy and fast. You don't need to do anything that was too time consuming because we want easy, delicious, and high protein. Now I'm going to start working on my egg mixture. I have 10 eggs here. As you guys know, each egg is 6 grams of protein. So this is going to be a pretty large frittata. I'm just going to crack all of the eggs into this bowl. And then once all of the eggs are in a bowl, I'm going to add some plain non-fat Greek yogurt. The Greek yogurt is going to give it some creaminess. And it also is going to give it a little bit more protein because we're all about the protein. And I like using plain non-fat Greek yogurt in plenty of my recipes. It's pretty versatile. I use it in a lot of things. Overnight oats, if I were making scrambled eggs, I would use it in that too. Now I'm just going to season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add in some shredded cheddar cheese right before I get ready to put this into the pan. Now I'm going to go over to the stove and we're going to start putting some olive and avocado oil blend into the pan. Now I'm going to add my vegetables so that they can cook. I'm going to season them with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. These are really staples that I keep in my home. You can choose whatever kind of seasoning you want to add to this, but I wanted to keep this basic and easy. And just because it's basic and easy does not mean that it's not going to taste good. Like, this is a really good blend, and I feel most people have these ingredients on hand. So I'm just going to saute these until my vegetables have a little bit of browning on them and they are to my desired temperature and consistency. Now I'm going to add the eggs in. You want to scramble the eggs until they're about halfway done. You don't want to fully cook the eggs. I almost forgot to add in my chicken. Sorry about that. But I'm just going to add the chicken in before I get too far along in the cooking process. Again, you're going to scramble the eggs only until they're about halfway done. Keep blending this up because this is going to cook pretty fast. Once you notice that your eggs are halfway done, you're going to go ahead and turn the stove off, and then you're going to continue to stir this around until it's kind of even throughout. Once it's even throughout, I just like to smooth down the mixture so that it's smooth across the pan, and then I go in and add a little bit more shredded cheddar cheese, and then I pop this in the oven. You're only going to have this in the oven for about 10 minutes on 350 degrees. This is what the finished product looks like. Now I'm going to move on to making my overnight oats. I'm going to start off with a cup of rolled oats. Then I'm going to put in 2 heaping spoonfuls of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt, 1 scoop of the protein powder, and then I'm going to pour just enough almond milk that's going to allow me to be able to stir the protein powder along with the Greek yogurt and get a nice creamy mixture. Once you have it mixed to your desired consistency, then you're going to go ahead and add in some more almond milk, really into your desired consistency. Remember, this is going to set overnight and the oats is going to absorb the moisture. So you want to make sure that it's not dry and that you do have enough moisture in there. Now I'm going to add in some diced strawberries. I had some frozen strawberries that I cut up. I didn't like the way the fresh strawberries looked in the store, and I knew I had frozen strawberries, so I wanted to use what I had on hand, and it worked just fine. Now we're going to make some peanut butter and jelly overnight oats. I'm going to start with my oats, add in that plain non-fat Greek yogurt, do a scoop of protein powder, and then I'm also going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of the PB2 powder. Now I'm going to add the almond milk in there, again just enough to you have enough liquid in there where you can mix your ingredients in there to get a creamy mixture. And then once you've been able to mix your dry and your wet ingredients, you can go ahead and add a little bit more almond milk just to make sure that you have enough liquid where this isn't going to be too dry. This might take a little bit longer to stir up just because the PB2 powder that you put in there, but it's still pretty easy and it doesn't take much longer. So now after this gets to a nice blend, I'm going to go ahead and add in some frozen blueberries. I keep frozen blueberries on hand because it does taste good in this, but it's also pretty easy. So I'm going to give this a nice stir, and then once this is stirred to the consistency that I want, I'm going to go ahead and add the lid on top of there. Now there you have it. So those overnight oats, they both will give you between 35 to 45 grams of protein. And now your frittata, each quarter slice of the frittata will give you 26 grams of protein, and you can have this with a small Greek yogurt. That's another 15 grams, and then you have 41 grams of protein for your breakfast, and you started the day off right. Enjoy.